To access the Lap Mobile from your Apple iDevice, tap the Lap Mobile icon on your home screen. This will launch the application and check for data. If this is the first time you have accessed the system, you will be presented with a message that tells you that there is no data on this device and that you must synchronize to download data. At the bottom of the screen, tap the Sync button. You will be prompted to enter your user ID and password. If you have accessed the system previously, it will confirm your identity and will allow you to download your classrooms. To make your selections for the classrooms, using the buttons in the upper right-hand corner, tap the Selections button, then select the customer, the site, and the classroom that you wish to download. If you are signing into the system as a classroom teacher, you will only be able to download your particular classroom. Once you have selected the classroom and a red check mark is placed next to the classroom name, tap the buttons in the upper left-hand corner to back out until you see the sync screen and a download button. The list of classrooms that you have selected will be displayed. Tap the download button and the download process will begin. When the download process is completed, a PIN bar will be displayed. To access the system, you must have a PIN number. Tap in the PIN bar and then tap in your PIN number. Once complete, tap the Login button. This will display your site and classrooms as selected. Any of the bars that have right-pointing arrows in them indicate that you can make selections from that bar. Once your classroom is displayed, select the Child bar to see the list of children. Select the individual child that you're going to assess, and you will be returned to the menu bar. Continue working from the top down. Select the assessment that you wish to administer. For both Lap 3 and ELAP, English is the only option, so you will not have to select the language. Select the checkpoint for your assessment, and please remember that all children's first assessment must be a beginning assessment. Tap the domain, and you can select the domain for the assessment. You can select these domains in any order. When you select a domain, the system will move you through the entire assessment, one domain after another. Once all selections have been made, tap the Start button to select the date of the assessment. You should select the date that you are generating or completing the assessment on the iDevice. You can select different days, provided that the assessment is completed within a 15-day time period. You should always select the day that you are completing each individual domain. Select the day you wish and tap the Select button. You will be returned to the menu screen. Tap Start again, and the system will take you into the assessment. Because the system has calculated the child's chronological age, it will take you to the starting point item for that age. To score the assessment, if the child can do this particular skill, tap the plus button. As soon as you tap the button, it will record your score, display it in the last item bar, and move you to the next item in sequence. For the early lap and the Lap 3, the first thing that we will be looking for is the basal. The basal rule for these assessments is that the child scores 8 pluses in a row from the starting point. When the basal has been reached, it will be displayed in the basal bar. Once the basal has been reached, the next thing we are going to be looking for is the ceiling. The ceiling rule for the Lap 3 and the early lap is when the child misses 3 items out of 5. When that third minus is reached, the system will display a message indicating that the basal and the ceiling have been reached and the raw score has been calculated. If you would like to move to the next domain in sequence, simply tap the OK button. If you are done with assessing this particular child, you can click Cancel to be returned to the menu screen. I wish to move on to the next assessment domain, so I'm going to tap OK. Again, it will take me immediately to the starting point item. Remember the basal rule. If the child scores a minus before the basal is reached, the system will automatically move you back 8 items from your current item. You can then continue to score the items. Once the basal and ceiling have been reached, the system will inform you of this. To move on to the next item, or the next domain, I select OK, and it will take me to the starting point. The LAP Mobile has some new functionality built into it. A key example of this is the ability to adjust the starting point for a young child with special needs. If you need to adjust the starting point to back up to go to an earlier developmental item, simply tap the Current Item bar. This will present you with a listing of all assessment items within this domain. You can select any item that comes before the child's actual chronological age starting point. You should always select the first item within that age bracket. So, for this example, my child is 54 months old, but I need to adjust her pre-writing domain to 42 months. I should always select the first item in the 42-month age range. If I fail to select the first item, the software will automatically correct the selection for me. It will confirm that I'm changing the starting point and will take me in and allow me to complete the assessment. Again, the basal and the ceiling rules are the same. Once the scores have been calculated, the system will inform you. There are some items within the LAP 3 and the early LAP that require you to select items from a list. To select these items from a list, you will be presented with a list item. Tap on that and make any appropriate selections. As you make your selections, you will see a running tally of how many items you have selected. When you've selected the appropriate number of items based on the child's performance, tap the Done button, and then tap the red check mark to save your work. The system will calculate the number of responses you've selected and determine if that is adequate to score it as a plus, else it will score it as a minus. The software knows all of the rules for administration of the assessment and will enforce your following them. If you need to stop the assessment in the middle and cancel, simply tap the Cancel button in the upper left-hand corner. You will be prompted to confirm that you will not save this domain. Each of the domains within the LAP is saved independently. You will not lose any previously saved domain scores. The only thing that will not be saved is the current domain. Another feature that has been added to the new LAP Mobile is the ability to view the completion of the assessment domains for the children in your classroom. From the main menu screen, you can tap the Quick View option. You can select the classroom summary. Your classroom name will be displayed. Select the assessment that you wish to view and the time period that you wish to view. All of the children will be listed in the screen. All of the assessment domains will be listed, and check marks will be displayed for those items that have been completed. When you're finished with the Quick View, simply return by clicking the buttons in the upper left-hand corner until you return to the menu screen. When you have completed your assessments and are ready to resync the system, tap the Pin button to get back to the main screen. From the login screen, tap the Sync button. This will upload any completed assessments and give you the opportunity to download your classroom again.